Hey guys, so I got a request on wondering how to do a number guessing game with hints. So, obviously in Java here, so basically when I run this, I'll show you how to run it and then we'll program it together. So basically I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 7. This one's always going to be random, the maximum number. So you do guess, too low, too high, and boom, see? So to program that, obviously you have your beginning stuff like the whole class declaration and everything. So public class number. My B key doesn't actually work. FYI. So I have to like ban it. It's very sad. Anyway, so I'm not gonna go over the very basics like having the fact that this is my name, but you guys should know the basics of creating a class if you're gonna watch this video. I don't want to reiterate every tiny little baby detail. It's just irritating. So, public static void main string args. We all know this, right? All right. String. Gosh darn it. All right. So, when we start this, I'm just gonna automatically import the. This is like the standard for like basically a lot of. I can't type apparently. So import java.util.asterisk is going to just be like a default of a lot of different packages and stuff. So I do that because we're gonna have to create a scanner so we can get input from the user. Alright, and then I'm gonna create the rest of the variables right here as well. So this is gonna be our variable declarations. And after the scanner, which is how you're going to get input from the user, we're going to need, I need like the minimum number, the maximum number, the number itself that's going to be guessed, and the player has a guess as well. So we'll make that 1, and everyone else can just be 0 for now. So it's just the initializer. Java needs that. So then I'm going to have one more, which is just going to be the boolean, which is true or false. And obviously at the start of the game, it's going to be not true. So now is the generate the number part, because obviously we just set them to default values. So first I'm going to give it the minimum number. I'm not going to do anything. I'm setting it at 1. If you guys want to do different, obviously you can. I mean, I shouldn't have to say that. But maximum number is going to be equal. So the reason why I'm casting an integer is because So math.random, which is the function I'm using to create a random number, is by default a decimal or a double. So I'm just gonna choose 50 as like a good number, and also it's gonna be by default it's gonna start at 0. It's gonna generate a random number between 0 and 1. So obviously that's a decimal, so it casts an int. It makes it an integer, so it's only gonna do whole numbers between whatever you choose. And then I do +1, so we don't create a number between 0 and 50 because I wrote 50. Whatever you multiply it by, that's going to be the number of the maximum range that it'll find. Anyway. So minimum number. If that was confusing, you could always read the documentation on it. Why did I type minimum number? So number equals basically the same thing. We're just going to replace the 50 with the variable we just called. Gosh, why is caps lock on now? I'm like messing up everywhere. It's true. They say you like mess up more programming when you type on pressure, like people are watching. Anyway, I'm still doing the plus, but obviously instead of 1, we're doing the minimum number, even though technically the minimum number is 1, but if you wanted to change those values for a different kind of game, then your code at least would make sense. So now we can probably do the actual in-game business. So I'm going to do a while loop, and the exclamation point means not. So basically when game is not over, keep doing everything in the loop. And I also want to close my scanner. It's just a good thing to do so you don't have any leaks. It's not that this little program is going to need that, but it's good practice. So now is basically we're almost done here. So while the game is not over, we're going to have to prompt the player, and you want to prompt them in the loop because they're going to have to keep guessing if they're wrong and stuff, which the odds of being right on the first try, obviously. Anyway, so if, else if, and then else. That's how I'm setting this up. Why? Because if it's less than, if it's greater than, or it's perfect. Those are only 3 possible scenarios. So if the number is greater than, actually, I'll just write this the other way. If the player guess is less than the number, or the player, player guess is greater than the number. So what you will do here, system dot out dot print line. Now, obviously for here, it was too low and too high. Perfect. So by this point, I'm going to set my game over to be true. Obviously, if you wanted to create levels or something, you could just set the game over to, you know, to be true when they quit or something. And then you could keep adding like difficulties and generating different numbers. You could do some crazy stuff with this. You can make it this basic little program into something much more complicated and fun. Anyway, I'm going to add one little thing. So basically, when you do get it right, based off this code, it's going to exit out. So the moment it exits out, you can be like, thanks for playing. Because then it will establish that after this. So, I guess for proof or whatever. Even though I ran it at the beginning. Oh god, I broke something. I forgot to, game over equals false. Why does it look weird? Wait, that's kind of weird. Oh, I'm because I forgot to do the stupid question in the first place. Duh. System.out.println. Alright, so we're gonna be like, I am thinking of a random number between, make sure you do spaces, and we gotta get the scanner input, obviously, so player guess is going to equal s dot next int, because we're looking specifically for a number. Alright, so minus my brain fart before, now we run it. So alright, so 146, obviously that's quite large, so I'm not gonna sit here and do it, but obviously it works. So at this point, you got like this basic warning program, and I kind of established what you could expand on, and I think there's nothing too complicated. The most complicated thing here would probably be using the math.random function, like this algorithm. I don't know, this math little thing, but that should be it. too high. Oh, if you want to do like the next line, you can do that too by just doing the shortcut. That means new line. So if I run it, now it's over here instead of when it was at the end over here. But yeah, yeah. All right, see you in the next video, guys.